After a long time off, the Xenia Scouts finally got back to action here today at Grady's Field. They took on the Galion Graders. They won game 1 by a score of 3-1 in a 7-inning contest. We're set to play a full 9 here in game number 2 of the doubleheader as the Scouts take on the same Galion Graders. I'm Lance Morris alongside my broadcast partner Terry Lash. We bring you live coverage of your Xenia Scouts right here on our Google YouTube Hangout. First pitch of the game from Dylan Donnelly is fouled out of play. First pitch time of 6:50. Terry, what's the side we have coming up for the Galion Graders?
For the Graders will be Nick Rizzo, D. Tomassis, the left fielder, and J.T. Court, a third baseman.
Now it's flown out towards left. Wyatt Hogan out there patrolling left field, and that one will just go foul. I actually thought that one might have hit the line.
It was so close, Lance. We've talked about it all year long about tiptoeing on that line, and that one didn't miss the white pellets from very, very much.
So Rizzo up to the plate. 2 for 3 in game 1. He's near the tops of the league in average. It's been a theme of people that have played the Scouts recently, as the Hamilton Joes had 3 people in the top 6 in average.
So that's going to keep him at the plate. Let's see if they're going to put down the .481 hitting Risotto.
0-2 misses outside ball. One first ball we've seen today from Dylan Donnelly.
Risotto, of course, leads the Graders with a .481 average.
And that one is lined towards Lee Solomon, making his first start of the year at second base. And he'll get it over to Lincoln Reed in time for out number 1.
It is for Lee at second, but his first game of the year when he came in to replace Christian Binger all the way back in the first game against Licking County. Seems like forever ago. Lee came in at second base, and he is going to get some work at second base this year at Lipscomb University, so familiar with the position.
Zach D. Tomas is now up to the plate. That one grounded right back towards Solomon at second. And he'll get over to Lincoln in time for out number 2.
But I must admit, Lance, it is a weird feeling to say Solomon over there at second. It just, I don't know if it feels dirty or what. It's just a little bit different.
Solomon has been playing every single game at short since Austin Orr went down with a shoulder injury. He's back in the lineup today as a designated hitter, but still has not been cleared yet to throw and take the field as a fielder. First pitch to JT Core in there for a called strike 1. Core didn't play in game number 1. He's playing third base. He comes to us from North Dakota State University. The 0 is popped up high in the air. Looks like that one will be fielded by Solomon. And he'll get under that one for out number 3. Down go the Galion Graders 1, 2, 3 to start off this ball game.
And just like they finished the end of the game, Lee Solomon putting down the Graders, this time from a new position. So I say, all right, hit away from short because Lee Solomon has just been putting us away. We're going to move him to second, and he's going to do the exact same thing over there. So the man possessing the field has been Lee Solomon.
So a much different lineup for the Scouts, like Terry alluded to. Not a lineup we're conventionally used to, but I think we'll find a way to get through it. It'll be a little bit of an adjustment, but that's what baseball is about. It's all about making those little adjustments to benefit your team. So, Terry, who's going to be the first 3 up for the Scouts? And I warn you, it will be different than normal.
And it'll be Lee Solomon to lead things up. That's normal. He's playing from second base, but Austin Orr now batting in the 2 spot, the designated hitter from Union University, and Christian Binger is in the 3 spot. So we're in game number 20, Scouts 13-6 on the year. First time Kyle Carnahan hasn't been in the number 3 spot, as a bit of an adjustment to make. But Kyle Carnahan's still in the line. He's sitting there at 5, gone 4. And so that we should note before the Scouts hit the plate, new player today, Jordan Schaefer, recently off the plane from Northwestern State, in the northern part of Louisiana, is going to get the start at short today in game number 2 against the Graders. So we'll see how he does at the dish. We were first introduced to Jordan yesterday, and he was able to spend time with us bowling. He was actually on Lance's winning team.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. He was a key part of our success, a key cog, if you will.
A cog in the machine that was the no bumpers, and that's a bit of a paradox. A bit of a machine for the no bumpers, which is a machine system in itself. But regardless, I got second place, and I'm not too happy about it.
Yeah, you didn't get free ice cream like we
I
did.
didn't get free ice cream. That's just a tragic story in itself.
The best part of that was I didn't really build my team to win. I wanted it to be guys I just wanted on my team, guys I wanted to be around. But Terry was going all for the win, and you were pretty close.
Yeah, I was misled a little bit by Thomas Wanting. I asked everyone who's great at bowling. Thomas said me. I picked him, and he said I was just kidding. And there goes pick number 1. It was it's Jamarcus Russell of the first round of the bowling draft. But
you had the second overall pick, not first.
That's true. Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf applies in that situation.
There you go. So now Lee Solomon up to the plate. Warriors Xenia Scouts. First one of him is in there for a call. Strike one. And Terry, what can you tell us about today's starting pitcher for the Galion Graders?
It'll be Nick Muse from Otterbein College, one of multiple Cardinal pitchers on this team. 3 total. He has had 10-inning pitch on the year.
Next one misses way outside for ball 1. Lee Solomon went 2 for 4 in game number 1. Had an RBI in that contest.
Muse is a 5.40 ERA, 10 strikeouts, and 9 walks.
The 1-1 from Muse. Inside for ball 2, 2-1 the count. Solomon getting his first start as a scout at second base. The 2-1. That was going to be popped up out of play, evened it up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he's been on a bit of a tear recently. Went 2 for 4 last game with an RBI and a run scored on his 2 singles. Game before that, the 93 loss to Hamilton. He won player of the game after going 2 for 5.
The 2-2. Caught him looking. He knew it right away. First strikeout of the game from Muse.
So Muse does something the starting pitcher Tyler Hall couldn't do in his 5 innings pitch in the first game. Let's get a strikeout, and he does so against the very first batter, Lee Solomon.
So that'll bring Austin Orr up to the plate, coming in as the number 2 batter today. He's been stuck at a DH role for the last couple weeks, dealing with a shoulder injury like we mentioned. First one of them catches the outside corner for strike 1.
Now that I look back at it, Lance, the Scouts didn't strike out once in the last game. Peterson came in, and he didn't get a strikeout either. So that was the first strikeout.
Now the 0-1. Hacked at that one and missed. Down 0-2 is Austin Orr.
Graders now riding a 5-game losing streak at 4-11 on the year. Like Coach said, most of those coming on one-run losses.
And now the 0-2. Misses outside, puts it to 1-2.
It's a close game. And the game number 1 in that 7-inning affair, it was 2-1 for most of the contest before the Scouts were able to plate one to extend it to 3-1. Just not a lot of hitting off of Quentin McGrath.
The 1-2. Check swing on that one. It'll just get out of play.
Q, of course, got victory number 5 on the season. That's good for most in the entire Great Lakes League by 2 wins. So Q McGrath just...
So Q's pretty good.
He's not bad.
Now the 1-2. Misses outside again. 2-2 the count to Austin Orr. And like we talk a lot about Christian Binger, Austin Orr with great presence up at the plate.
Yeah, a guy that's not afraid to take a few pitches.
2-2. Misses down low, works it all the way back. Started at 0-2. Now it's 3-2.
And that's great hitting from Austin Orr. And he has 9 walks on the year. Would love to get into double digits and join Christian Binger and Levi Gilcrease with the Scouts of only players in double digits for walks.
And that speaks well to Austin Orr because there's been lots of games where he has not been in the lineup. And the 3-2. Misses outside, and he will walk Austin Orr. That'll be his first walk of the game.
And Austin's up for 10 on the year. Does have some speed. Let's see if he tries to swipe second. We did see 2 Scouts steal back in the game number 1 as Levi Gilcrease stole third. Miles Wright stole second.
So Christian Binger up to the plate. It's weird to say that someone's coming up there that's not Kyle Carnahan, but he'll be coming up as the 5th batter. Christian Binger now up. First one to him. Catches the outside corner, strike 1, and Christian Binger leads the team in walks like we like to mention, of course, but to put him up to 3 in the order after going 0 for 4 did seem a little strange to me.
Yeah, Coach Bud Cates mixing things up. I'll have to ask him about it in the post-game interview, which you can read online.
Yo, 1. That one's popped high up in the air towards third base. It'll be Jay to get under that one for the second out of the inning.
And Lance and I always joke about Christian Binger usually struggles when I'm doing play-by-play, which he did last time. He usually does great when Lance does play-by-play, so we'll see how Christian rights himself for the rest of the game.
And I think Coach Bubba Cates realizes that is now Miles on the bench. What? I guess I got Miles on the bench. You got to blame me for that one.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move by Coach Cates, really reading his pregame scouting from up here in the press box.
Unless David Gaunt up to the plate. First pitch to him. Misses low and away for ball 1. Austin Orr still down there at first after drawing the walk.
David had a 2 for 3 first games, now batting .384 on the year.
Next one misses low. Austin Orr's on the move. And he dropped the ball. But they're going to call him out. That was a terrible call.
I'm not sure what happened. Coach Hargrove not happy either. They must have said that he dropped it after the tag was applied, and
either way, he was safe.
I'm not sure what happened there. It was a bang play.
That was terrible.
But the fact that it looks like in the follow through of after the tag, you have to maintain possession of the ball.
Yeah.
You tag.
There's
the
no
batter,
transfer when there's 2 outs.
and
It shouldn't matter.
it looks like he clearly dropped it to me, but he's going to be called out. So that's going to be the second time of the year that Austin Orr is caught stealing.
So I guess that's something we'll have to look back on after the game or get other people's opinions on that. But nonetheless, that ends the inning. Xenia Scouts after 1 inning of play. Dylan Donnelly now out on the hill for his second inning of work, and spent a little time talking to him through the camps these last couple of days, and said he's been dealing with a little bit of back trouble, but it's nothing he can't handle. Yesterday before we went to bowling, there was a chiropractor or a doctor or something near Hothead Burrito, where we went to eat out in Beaver Creek.
Massage parlor.
And he said, yeah, it was a massage parlor, thank you. And he said, I would rather go for a massage than for food. Nonetheless, he still went and got food, but massage probably could have helped him out a little bit.
No, but the hothead was pretty solid.
That's absolutely true. So now it's Sierra coming up in the top of the second. Who do the Graders have coming up to the dish?
Coming up for the Graders would be Brody Bassalone, who had a great game in game number 1 against the South. Jay Krupar, the right fielder from Toledo. And then Dylan Slack, the first baseman from Lenore Ryan College. An interesting fact about Dylan, has not attended college yet. He's an incoming freshman, so just finished his senior year of high school.
First pitch to Bassalone. This is low and away for ball 1. Bassalone, like you mentioned, had a good game. Went 1 for 2 in game 1. Scored the first run of that game. 1-0 misses low again. 2-0 the count.
And for those of you who are just tuning in now, the reason why batters only get 2 and 3 appearances, game number 1 only went 7 innings.
That looks like that one missed again.
No, I think it caught the outside corner for a strike.
Next one from Donnelly. That one's fouled out of play.
Donnelly coming into today has 9 strikeouts and 9 walks on the year, so we'll see which one he gets first to get into double digits.
That one will miss once again. We got a full count now, 3-2.
4th start of the season for Donnelly, trying to get that first victory. He's 0-1.
3-2. That one's grounded right back towards Donnelly on the mound. He'll put that one over to Lincoln Reed in time for out number 1.
The Pittsburgh State Gorilla of gorilla-like reactions right there. He's quick on the rubber to grab that one, a third to first.
Do you know the difference? Especially now.
Oh, man, they're awesome creatures.
Next one to Jake Krupar is fouled back towards us. Krupar, a product of University of Toledo. He's a Rocket, the school Terry and I are not especially fond of.
And the second one we've seen today is first baseman in the first game.
Half of that one and missed. 0-2 the count.
Also a Toledo Rocket. So we've seen a couple of Rockets around the entire Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League and a lot of MAC representation here.
Now the 0-2. That one skied out towards left. Wyatt Hogan out there patrolling left today. And he would get under that one for the out.
So 5 down so far for Donnelly.
Dylan Slock up to the plate. Like we mentioned, he is an incoming freshman, finished his senior season of high school, and good enough to be recruited by the Galion Graders.
Yeah, Slack getting a good shot this year.
First one to him in there for a strike. Now the 0-1. This is low for a ball, 1-1 the count. One pitch. That one's hit out towards center. And Levi Gilcrease will get under that one in time for the final out of the inning. So 2 innings down, 1, 2, 3 in both of them for the Scouts defense.
So Dylan Donnelly has looked really solid on the mound. And something we've talked about recently, Dylan just seems like stronger and stronger as the season goes. And through 2 here, it looks like he's off to his best start of the year, determined to get that first victory.
So Nick Muse out there again for the Galion Graders. Like you mentioned, comes to us from Otterbein. Seen a lot of Otterbein representation in the Great Lakes League as well. I know there was, I think Jake Zimmerman was from Otterbein.
He was. Good call, Lance.
As I look back to make sure I was correct from the Hamilton Joe. So 2 straight series of Otterbein representation against the Xenia Scouts.
Otterbein outside of Columbus, Ohio. So with 10 of the 11 teams in the Great Lakes League centered around Ohio, you have to imagine that you're going to see a lot of players from the Buckeye State. And we have seen a lot of Otterbein Cardinals.
And honestly, the Scouts didn't have a lot of Ohio guys until lately. They really just added a couple more. And like Cale Giddings is another Ohio guy. We didn't get Lee Solomon until later on in this season, although he was always going to be a part of the squad. Didn't decide which word I was going to say, but we've got a couple Ohio guys, but not as many as you'd think.
You know, Lincoln Reed will be the number 3 of the Ohio players. Lincoln plays ball in Indiana at Taylor University, originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, went to Archbishop Moeller High School. The last 2 players the Scouts have picked up, and Tony Campbell, and starting today, and Jordan Schaefer, all outside the state. Campbell teaming at Katy Taylor High School with Miles Wright in Texas, the Houston area, and then Jordan Schaefer from Louisiana goes to Northwestern State.
I was telling him last night that we were missing Ben Aldridge when we were out of the bowling alley. Went home for a wedding, and I told him, yeah, you'll have at least one other true Southern teammate. So he was excited about that. Now, Terry, who do we have coming up for the Scouts in the bottom of the second?
We got the 4, 5, 6 hitters with David Gaunt, Kyle Carnahan, and Lincoln Reed.
First pitch to Gaunt. That one's skied high up in the air. We'll see if they have room. And that one will just get out of play as it hits off the top of the Scouts' dugout. David was up in the first inning, but has to come back up after Austin Orr was caught stealing on a still questionable call.
And I think David Gaunt thought that one was going to be a flyout because he started walking towards first like he knew he was going to be caught. But, yeah, the ball just went so high, started drifting before it finally went out of play.
Now the 0-1. One's grounded down the line towards Core at third. He'll double get the out. He kept his foot on the base and still applied the tag. Still a ground out, though.
A good job by Core. Originally messed up as he couldn't snag it in his glove. Struggled, but did make the play to first after that. So good job by JT Core. He got out Gaunt, who went 2 for that RBI double.
Now Kyle Carnahan up to the plate after David Gaunt for the first time this year. Usually he's right before Gaunt in the batting order.
Very weird for me, Lance.
First pitch to him is low for ball one. And like I mentioned, Kyle having a good season. He's 1 for 1 in game number 1 and got hit by a pitch for the 7th time this season. Now the 1-0 is lined right back up the middle and almost caught by Schrock, but just got past him for a base hit single.
And Kyle Carnahan came into this game batting .257. He was right around 200 about a week ago, and he's just worked his way back. And he's been just on an absolute tear recently. Kyle Carnahan, who was moved down in the lineup for the first time of the year, is really coming around here in the middle part of the season as we are in game number 20. After today, we are halfway home with the regular season, believe it or not.
That brings Lincoln Reed up to the plate. Didn't play in game number 1. Cale Giddings got the start over at first. Zach Wiley is behind the disc. 2 positions Lincoln plays. First one misses inside for a ball.
And he also plays relief pitcher every once in a while, as we have seen this year. Lincoln Reed did go 2 innings with no earned runs.
It's very true. Carnahan over at first. Next one to Lincoln is lined back to Caputo at second. He'll flip it over to short for 1. And just got him out for the double play to end the inning.
So the 4-6-3. And again, Scouts go down after they get a runner on base. 1-2-3. This time of the double play variety. So for both teams, 6 up, 6 down. Scouts have gotten a hit and a walk, but have yet to advance a runner to second.
So each team going down 1-2-3 in unconventional ways, especially for the Scouts after the caught stealing from Austin Orr and then the double play to end this past inning. We've seen, of course, a lot weirder things, as we like to frequently mention, around both the league and with just crazy things that seem to happen just once every game or so, just how it is.
And some score updates from around the league. The Hamilton Joes beat the Southern Ohio Copperheads in that first game. That game wins. So you have to wonder if their second game is going to go 7, because they are playing a doubleheader, and that was in the bottom of the first. The Joes up 1-0 in the second game. Lima Locos and Lake Erie Monarchs are about to get underway. And then the Grand Lake Mariners, Lorraine County Ironmen, on the bottom of the 7th. I don't know if that's the last inning of that contest as well, because they are also in a doubleheader. Mariners up 13-7 at the Pipe Yard.
So now as we get set to start the top of the third, still 0-0 between the Scouts and the Graders. Terry, who do the Graders have coming up to the plate?
7, 8, 9 hitters at the bottom of the lineup. Aaron Caputo from Ohio Wesleyan at the plate now. He's going to be followed by Mark Walton, the catcher from Otterbein College.
First one in there for a called strike 1.
And then Kevin Schrock, who we saw in the first game at shortstop, going to play shortstop again from Findlay University. He's an Oiler.
0-1 is lined over Kyle Carnahan at third for a base hit. That'll be the first hit of game number 2 for the Galion Graders.
And a hit for Aaron Caputo, who's been struggling to find him this year. He's came into the game batting a 111. As he just bloops that one over Carnahan.
So Mark Walton, the catcher for today. So Otterbein catcher, Otterbein pitcher for the Graders. So a little familiarity for them. Caputo over on first after his leadoff hit. They're going to show bunt. It'll get down. And Donnelly will be forced to go over to first to get the one out, but Caputo will advance to second.
A great sacrifice bunt from Mark Walton does his job. And now that puts Caputo in scoring position.
Kevin Schrock up to the plate. Like you mentioned, Terry, he played in game number 1, went 0 for 3, is playing shortstop once again.
Was great in the field, though.
First one to him in there for a called strike 1.
Donnelly looking for his first strikeout of the day.
Now the 0-1. One just misses for a ball, evens it up at 1 apiece.
Donnelly's last outing was against the Hamilton Joes. That was on Wednesday in the 3-9 loss.
That one's skied out towards right field. It'll get out of play.
He went 2/3 of an inning. They didn't want to play him too much because they knew he would start today. Gave up 1 earned run and a couple of hits and did get 2 strikeouts.
And now the 1-2. And that one's hit over towards Lee Solomon at second, and he'll get under that one for the second out of the inning.
Good job by Donnelly. Handcuffing Schrock to just push that one in for an infield flyout. And we're about to start the top of the lineup for the second time today in Nick Risotto.
First one to him. That one's skied up. That'll get out of play. 0-1 the count.
So again, from Penn State University, we've seen a few Big Ten guys in this league, mainly from Michigan State, it seems like. Seen a few Michigan and a couple of Ohio State here and there.
The 0-1. That one in there for a called strike 2. Great action on that one from Dylan Donnelly.
Did see an Indiana Hoosier.
That was back against the Settlers, if I remember correctly.
I think that's it.
Sounds about right. Now the 0-2. Now one will be lined in the gap between first and second for a base hit. They're going to send him home. And he's gunned at the plate. Great throw out there from Christian Binger, getting his first start of the regular season in right field.
So Christian Binger is naturally an outfielder. Came in from Southwest Baptist University after playing the year in right field, and he's been playing out of position unbelievably so at second because he's done such a good job. So that's actually a play he's used to making. And, man, he showed off his cannon there. Now we have to worry about not only Levi Gilchrist with Kane in right field, but Christian Binger as well with a 1-2 punch. That's got to be scary, and Aaron Caputo felt in full force.
And I definitely took an extra second to make sure that was Christian Binger out there and right because, like we mentioned, with the shakeup in the lineup and new guys coming in, didn't know where some of these guys would fall in the field. And like you mentioned, Christian came to us as an outfielder, and after Bravo having a little bit of trouble of his own at second, and then so basically just a switch between him and Christian from second to right, and Bravo plays a little bit of left field as well, but that switch had seemed to be working well up to this point, but with some new help, we had Jordan Schaefer come in as a shortstop. He just got here the other day, like we mentioned earlier, and Lee Solomon at Lipscomb will have his chance at second base, so probably would like to get him some more action at second so he can prepare for his upcoming season.
So that was the second hit of the day given up by Dylan Donnelly. Risotto to be marked out with a single on that one, but a nice play from right field. You see a 9-2 put out on your scoring book.
Batting for the Scouts, center field, number 6, Levi Gilchrist.
So Levi Gilchrist up to the plate. Went 2 for 3 in game 1, and Terry's coming up after him.
And to Levi Gilchrist will be Wyatt Hogan, the left fielder, and then Jordan Schaefer, the shortstop.
It'll be the first at-bat we've seen of Jordan Schaefer. Still haven't seen any grounders towards him at short. First one to Levi. Swung at that high one and missed. 0-1. Now the 0-1. Thought about that one, but held up. 1-1 the count to Levi Gilchrist. Gilchrist went 2 for 3, like we mentioned. The center fielder from Baylor. The 1-1. One misses low. Ball 2-2-1. Count to Levi Gilchrist. His brother Zach, also with the Scouts as a coach, was a player just 2 years ago. Next one misses outside. 3-1 the count to Gilchrist.
Gilchrist is one of the leaders in the team for walks, tied with Austin Orr with 10 on the year. Both are in second to Christian Binger.
Now the 3-1. And that one catches the inside corner, makes it a full count.
Looks like Levi grabbed the top of his bat, was ready to go down the first base. Get another delayed call.
And the 3-2. That one skied out towards right field, towards Krupar. And he will get under that one for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I think Levi Gilcrease is going to feel salty for that because he thought he was going to be able to walk down to first, and then the next at bat flies out in foul territory. So 7 up, 7 down for the Scouts. They do have 1 hit in the contest and a walk because of a double play and a caught stealing off of Austin Orr's steal attempt back in the first. It's still been line them up, sit them down here for Nick Muse.
Wyatt Hogan up to the plate. First one to him. Just misses outside for ball 1. And this is the first time we're seeing Wyatt with a little bit of a shield on his left leg after he took a foul ball right there and really hurt him.
Yeah, he talked about how he was almost in tears.
Next one misses upstairs for a ball. He said usually he's fouled balls off of himself before, but usually he can just walk it up. But that was the first time he had to physically fall to the ground because of how bad it hurt.
Yeah, so he actually made great contact with that one. It wasn't just fouled off the dirt.
Next one to him. Misses once again. 3-0 the count. The count to Wyatt Hogan. And the 3-0. That one misses upstairs, and he will walk Wyatt Hogan for his second walk of the game.
And that's going to be walk number 6 on the year for Wyatt Hogan. And we're going to see Jordan Schaefer for the first time this year. The shortstop. He's a righty.
Jordan Schaefer coming up to the plate. Wyatt Hogan over on first after the walk. First start and first game of this Scout season for Jordan Schaefer comes to us right at about the halfway point.
That was on the fly, brother. There you go. I love you, man.
First one to Schaefer. Misses in the dirt, and Hogan's going to be on the move.
What?
And luckily there was a very bad throw. Otherwise, he'd have been gunned at second. Wyatt Hogan, not the fleetest of foot.
I don't know what happened there. Mark Walton had a proverbially right there to throw out Wyatt Hogan at second, and he made an errant judgment to go on that pass ball. And then
we ain't gonna get many. Might as well give him some.
Next one will miss in the dirt. 2-0 the count out of Schaefer.
that's going to put Wyatt Hogan on second with a steal as it's being scored. Walks and then steal second. You have to think that Walton really struggled with that one.
There's some action in the Grader bullpen. And I don't know if this is about performance or an injury possibly. Seem to be grimacing a little bit. As he's throwing 4 straight balls to Hogan and then 2 to Schaefer that were not really even close to the strike zone.
Doing scoreboard and music. We're
2-0. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Makes the count 2-1.
No, we're, yeah, we're the blue.
Wyatt Hogan over on second after the steal. The 2-1. That one skied high up in the air. And Caputo will get under that one for the out.
So first at bat of the year for Jordan Schaefer. And he's going to fly out to second. See how he rebounds his next time at the plate.
Still haven't seen anything hit over to him at shortstop. We'll see if that changes in the coming innings, but brings Lee Solomon up to the plate for your Xenia Scouts. Our usual shortstop getting the start at second in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Scouts still tied with the Graders 0-0. First one misses outside for ball one. Solomon struck out looking in his first at-bat, and he knew it as soon as that one crossed the plate.
Yeah, he started walking right away. Didn't have to hear the ump's call.
Another 1-0.
Yeah.
In the dirt again. Puts it to 2-0.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets through that. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Wyatt Hogan on second base. Reached base with a walk and then stole second. 2-0 in there for a called strike one to Lee Solomon.
So are you excited to see Jacob? Are you excited to see Jacob?
2-1 the count to Lee Solomon. Still 0-0 between the Scouts and the Graders. And that one's lined right back to Kevin Schrock for the final out of the inning.
And I don't even think Schrock had to move much on that one. Just went down to his knee, almost in a lunging position to make that grab on the liner. So it's still scoreless here. These two teams are going back and forth with each other. There's been a bit of a pitching duel between Nick Muse and Dylan Donnelly in game number 2.
So after 3 innings, the Scouts and the Graders tied 0-0. The scoring started off early in game number 1 as each team scored a run in the second inning. The Scouts actually scored 2 runs compared to Galion's 1, and that was the only run Galion scored for the rest of the game. And then the Scouts added on an insurance run in the 5th inning of game number 1 of this doubleheader.
And we're going to take you to some scores from around the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. As we mentioned, the Hamilton Joes beat the Southern Ohio Copperhead earlier 1-0. That was a game that went 9 innings. In 7 innings, it's over. The Grand Lake Mariners have beaten Lorain County Ironman. That game number 2 is going to start shortly there. And then Hamilton Joes are up 2-0 now against the Southern Ohio Copperheads in the second game of that doubleheader. You have to think that that game is going to go 7.
Andy Tomassis up to the plate. First one to him. Now will be fouled off towards the first base line.
Donnelly only given up a couple of hits so far. You have a 1 to Aaron Caputo to start the 3rd inning, and then the last one, Nick Risotto.
The 0-1. This is outside for a ball.
Can you open that? From David. Oh, thank you.
Now 1-1. And there for a called strike 2. 1-2 the count to D. Tomassis.
D. Tomassis coming to this game, batting 188 from Akron University.
The 1-2. Grounded towards Kyle Carnahan at 3rd. And he'll just get that over to first in time. A little errant throw, but Lincoln Reed able to handle that at first for the first out of the inning.
And Mr. Hot Corner with a uncharacteristic high throw. Lincoln Reed playing first. That was Wyatt Hogan, who does play first sometimes. That ball's going over his head. Lincoln with a 6'3" body with the long arms is able to pull that one down and get on the bag in time.
JT Core misses low for a ball. Took a hack at that one and missed. Brady Basilone on deck. He had a good game in game 1. Another good breaking pitch from Donnelly. 1-2 to count.
Donnelly doing a good job mixing up his pitches here between fastballs, off speeds, and we see a little bit of a curve on that one.
1-2. And that one's lined down the left field line, but it'll get out of play. We'll try again at 1-2.
Donnelly usually works in the mid to high 80s, so he uses a lot of variety of his pitches to get out batters.
And the 1-2. Swung at that one and missed, but it's in the dirt, so David Gaunt will have to throw that one over to Lincoln Reed to secure the strikeout.
The first strikeout of the day for Dylan Donnelly, and now he's up to 10 on the season.
Brady Bassalow now coming up to the plate. Like we mentioned, had a good game one. Went 1 for 2, and in his first at bat in game 2, had a ground out to Dylan Donnelly on the mound. First one to him in the dirt for a ball. Now the 1-0. One's fouled back towards us, evens up at 1 apiece.
One of Lance's key of the games at the end of the last postgame show is that the Scouts get out their bats, and so far in this game, neither team has seemed to have done so. Both come out kind of flat to start game number 2.
Now the 1-1. That one misses inside. I feel like that was a different pitch than we usually see from Dylan. And the 2-1. This is that one low and away. 3-1 the count. Brady Bassalow.
Donnelly just got his first strikeout of the game, trying to avoid getting his first walk.
And 3-1. Now one for the first walk of the game from Dylan Donnelly.
And Bassalow walked in game number 1 in the second inning, and eventually came around a score after a pass ball and a single. And he was the only run scorer of the game for the Graders, so Donnelly trying to avoid the same fate here with 2 outs. Bassalow also got on with a 2-out walk in the first game, so a lot of coincidences.
First one to Jake Krubar inside for ball 1. Or didn't play in game 1 and flew out to Wyatt Hogan out and left back in the second inning. Donnelly checks on Bassalow over at first. Still a little bit of action in the pen. Next one misses. I can't control that one, but he'll get in front of that and keep it.
Now David Gaunt making a move to talk to Dylan Donnelly, conference rivals in college. Yesterday we were talking about how excited they are to see each other when they play each other this year. David Gaunt actually talked about going to Pittsburgh State when the Ichabod's play the Gorillas in football.
All right, thank you.
2-0 the count to Jake Krubar. Bassalow still over there at first. Now 2-0. One catches the outside corner for strike 1. Still 0-0 here between Galion Graders and the Xenia Scouts. We're in the top of the 4th inning. And the 2-1. Misses that one outside. 3-1 the count. And 3-1. Bassalow on the move, but that'll be ball 4. Anyways, 2 straight walks from Dylan Donnelly.
Playing first base, number 10, Dylan Slock.
So Dylan Slock up to the plate. Like I mentioned, a guy who has yet to play his first collegiate game, but here in a collegiate summer league, he just finished his senior year of high school. First one to him. Oh, it's just fouled off the end of the bat for strike 1. Scouts do have 2 down. They have Bassalow on second, Krubar on first. Now the 0-1. Just missed that time. Evens up at 1 apiece.
Scouts put themselves in a little bit of danger here, but they do have 4 outs at every single bag and get out of this inning unscathed.
The 1-1. That one's fouled back into the netting, makes it 1-2.
After going 1-2-3 and 1-2-3 and 1-2-3-4 to start off this game, this is the first time Donnelly's been kind of stretched a little bit facing his 5th batter.
Now the 1-2. One misses outside. Tried to get him to chase at that one. 2-2 the count. Two and two the count. To Dylan Slock. Dylan Donnelly on the hill for your Scouts. And the 2-2. He'll ground that one down to Kyle Carnahan at third. And he'll get that one over to Lincoln Reed in time for out number 3.
Nice stretch from Lincoln Reed, making that glove target a little closer to Kyle Carnahan because it was a bang-bang play. He would have stood back pat. Would have been a lot closer. Don't know if they would have been able to put out Slack. And then, but since it was such a good job by Lincoln, Dylan Dowling gets out of the danger.
So still after that top half of the fourth, still zeros on the board between the Galion Graders and your Xenia Scouts. And there's going to be a new pitcher out there for the Galion Graders. We'll tell you who it is right when we figure that out. It is a lefty, I can tell you that much.
That would be number 20, Will Orr from West Virginia University. He is a senior from Vero Beach, Florida. You're right, Lance. He is a lefty. He's 6 foot, 210 pounds. Another yellow jacket. The starter for the last game was Tyler Hall, also from West Virginia State University. A D2 school in West Virginia, so this is the second time we're going to see a yellow jacket on the mound. Tyler Hall fared fairly decent. He gave up 3 earned runs through 5 innings of pitching. Did not get any strikeouts, gave up a couple of walks and some hits, but overall not a terrible day at the mound by any stretch of the imagination for Tyler Hall, who did get the loss in that first contest. But now we're going to have to see what Will Orr is going to bring to the table.
So the line for Muse will be innings pitched, gave up just the 1 hit. That was to Kyle Carnahan. No earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and it was the first batter he faced of the game in Lee Solomon. So now bringing Austin Orr up to the plate for your Xenia Scouts. Terry, who will be up after him?
After Lee Solomon, Austin Orr, Christian Binger. Excuse me, after Austin Orr, it'll be Christian Binger and then David Gaunt.
First one to Orr in there for a called strike 1. Orr comes with us care of Union University, a college teammate of Zach Wiley, the first catcher for game 1. Next one misses inside. 1-1 the count.
Not only did he walk in the first inning, but he had an 0-2 count before he walked. So it was a great at-bat for Austin.
The 1-1. He'll ground that one towards first, but it'll go foul. 1-2 the count.
Well, we found out yesterday, Austin, a very good bowler as well. Has a very smooth approach. Looks like he's just kind of pushing the ball down the lane.
And now the 1-2. That one caught him looking on the inside corner. I didn't think that one was strike 3, but we'll take it.
That'll be the second strikeout of the day for Nick Muse.
New pitcher, Terry.
You're right. That'll be the first strikeout of the day for Will Orr.
First batter he's faced. If he had 2 strikeouts before he faced 1 batter, that'd be
It was
phenomenal.
a very impressive strikeout. He gets recorded 2 outs for 1.
Now Christian Binger up to the plate. That first one fouled out of play. Binger flew out to Core over at third base. His first step out of the game. The 0-1. And there for a called strike 2. 0-2. The count to Christian Binger.
So after only 3 innings from Muse, you have to think that the Graders are going to go with a pitcher by committee approach here in the second game.
The 0-2. Misses in 1-2 the count. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still zeros on the board between the Graders and the Scouts. The 1-2 to Binger misses. Evens it up at 2-2.
Fortunately, no Scouts on. The Graders would have given up a pass ball there. This is the 5th appearance of the year. Will Orr, who's also had a day at the plate.
And the 2-2. And that one will be lined out of play as well. We'll try again at 2-2.
Orr has a 6.61 in the year. He has a 2-2 record through 16 and a third innings pitched, 6 walks.
Finger will ground that one towards Slock at first. He'll flip it, and he just got him out in time. Another close play down at first.
The second time today, we saw again in the first game, we dove head first into the bag. Christian Banger trying to beat out those infield singles, but just a little bit behind.
One of the members of Spurs coming up to the plate, and David Gaughan of your Xenia Scouts.
Got grounded out to the third the last time he was up.
First pitch to him. Inside for a ball. Now the 1-0. This is once again 2-0 to David Gaughan. 4 home runs on the season and 21 RBIs after the one in game 1. 2-0 misses again. 3-0 to David Gaughan. If there's anyone on this team they'd give the green light to on 3-0, it would be Gaughan, but I still think he'd be taken.
I think so as well. You always got to want to put runners on with 2 outs.
And the 3-0. Watches that one go right down to 1. 3-1 to Dave Gaughan.
I know he will not be taking at 3-1.
You'd think.
I would think.
And the 3-1. And he'll take once again on a curveball that just broke in for it. Makes it a full count. 3-2.
That was a beautiful pitch by Orr. That one just broke into the center of the strike zone.
Now the 3-2. That'll be grounded towards Core at third. And he'll just get that one over to Slock in time for the final out of the inning. So the Scouts go down 1-2-3.
And that's going to be the third time that the Scouts have gone down 1-2-3. They had 4 batters last time, but it's been stifling defense and great pitching for the Galion Graders.
We're playing Johnny Raw again.
Hey, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
We're doing
Let's not do that.
yeah.
So Owen Donnelly on the mound
Dewey.
for your Xenia Scouts.
Hey, Dewey. You hear we're not doing that.
All right.
Will be out for his 5th inning of work as today's starter.
I know. He was looking up here with like that goofy friend is, dude.
So Donnelly on the mound throwing a few warm-up pitches, and Terry, who's going to be coming up for the Galion Graders to start off the 5th inning.
Coming up for the Galion Graders with Aaron Caputo, who singled the last time he was up. It was the first hit of the game for the Galion Graders. And Mark, who had a sack bunt, and Kevin Schrock, who flew out to second base.
So David Gaughan finally back behind the dish after he was the last out of the 4th inning, and still after 4 innings of play, still zeros on the board and just 1 hit apiece for the Scouts and the Graders. We see some more people walking out to the Galion Grader bullpen. Still no action in your Xenia Scouts bullpen. So now Aaron Caputo up to the plate. So Caputo up to the plate for the Graders. Comes to us from Ohio Wesleyan University. That one's grounded down the line and foul. Now the 0-1. Catches the outside corner for a strike, going to the count to Caputo. And the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Second strike out of the game for Dylan Donnelly.
So Donnelly working quickly there. Put down Caputo, who gave him so much troubles back in the third inning.
Mark Walton up to the plate. He had a sac bunt in his last at bat. First one in there for a called strike, one at the knees. Now the 0-1. Catches the outside corner for a called strike, two. Quickly 0-2 to Walton. Donnelly's definitely finding his groove.
Yeah, he's being very confident. Pitches right over the plate.
1-2 just misses. 1-2 the count. And he just got a piece of that one to stay alive at 1-2. So 1-2 the count to Mark Walton, Dylan Donnelly on the hill for your Scouts. That one's line just over the head of Donnelly, over to Solomon at second. I'll get that over to Lincoln Reed in time for out number 2.
At least Solomon has not missed a beat over there at second base, making the move from short to second.
So now Kevin Schrock up to the plate for the Galion Graders. Comes with us from the University of Findlay. First one to him. Fouled over our heads for strike one. Schrock went 0 for 3 in game number 1 of this doubleheader between the Scouts and the Graders. Now the 0-1. Breaking pitch way up top. Didn't quite break the way Donnelly wanted that one too. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, that one was way up high. Decapitated Schrock if he didn't duck out of the way of that one.
And now the 1-1. Fouls that one back. 1-2 the count. Still no score between Scouts and the Graders. We're on the top of the 5th inning. Just one hit apiece for each of these teams. The 1-2. Got him looking. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for Donnelly. Third strikeout of the game.
Getting that outside corner. Pinpoint accuracy. And that one from Dylan Donnelly. And something that I think is one of his best attributes. It seems like the longer he goes in the game, the better he is.
So now Will Orr will be coming back out for his second inning of work for the Galion Graders. He came on in relief from Nick Muse in the 4th inning.
Per Johnny's request.
So after the top half of the 5th, except for the bottom half of the 5th, still zeros. War between the Graders and the Scouts. I'm Lance Morris alongside my broadcast partner, Terry Lash, as we bring you every single game of the Xenia Scouts baseball season here, right here on our Google YouTube Hangout. You can, of course, find us on all the social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun things. And, of course, our website, xeniascouts.com.
And it's a stalemate right now as who's going to break the scoreless tie? Who's going to be the first team to finally put the wood on the ball and get a runner across the plate?
So Kyle Carnahan up to the plate. In a bit of an unfamiliar role as he's batting 5th in this game. First one to him. Line down the line, but foul.
Best pretzels in the world.
Carnahan got a hit back in the 2nd inning. It's game so far for the Scouts.
So good, even concession stand.
Now the 0-1. That one's lined out towards right. But great. But Krupar will get under that one for the first out of the inning.
That's the first time the Scouts have had a good piece of wood off of Will Orr, but fortunately for Carnahan, he just seemed to gravitate to right field.
No, screw. Hey,
So Lincoln Reed up to the plate for your Scouts. Grounded into the double play his last time up. First one to him, catch the outside corner for strike one.
Hey,
I think, wait, hold on. I think it came out a little bit. This one's right again.
Next one misses inside for a ball. Puts it to 1-1. Nick and Reed comes to us from Taylor University in Indiana. Now we grounded up towards Chirac at short. He'll get that one over to Slock in time for out number 2.
Playing center field, number 6.
So like we've mentioned, basically a stalemate up to this point. Neither team really striking a good piece of wood on anything, but nonetheless, we keep going. Levi Gilchrist now comes up to the plate. Went 2 for 3 in game 1. Flew out to right field back in the 3rd inning. Next one to him in there for a called strike 1. Now the 0-1. That one just misses outside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Gilchrist.
Gilchrist grabs in those pellets, trying to keep his sweaty hands a little more dry to get better grip on the bat.
The 1-1. One's in there. Called strike 2 to Levi. Now the 1-2. Misses outside. Evens it up at 2 apiece. Now the 1-2. Now it's skied out towards left field. That one will stay in the yard, though, just shy of the warning track. D. Tomasis got back there for the final out of the inning.
That's the 4th time the Scouts have gone 1, 2, 3, but you're seeing some of the better hits of the game for the Scouts, but just a little too much under that one from Gilchrist, and it's just shy of the track. And
By the way, they have another heavy.
They do?
and it just hasn't gone for the Scouts.
So now after 5 total innings, still zeros on the board between your Xenia Scouts and the visiting Galion Graders here at Grady's Field on the AIA complex. I'm Lance Morris alongside Terry Lash as we, of course, bring you all the coverage of your Xenia Scouts. And Donnelly now out on the hill for getting ready for his 6th inning of work.
Yeah, this is something that we've seen recently at Dylan Donnelly. Last time he had a start, he went 7 full innings. See if he tries to aim for that again tonight. Before that, he only went 3 in the start before that, so it just seems like he's playing through pain. He talked about those back problems he's been having a little bit. That's what happens over the course of a 40-game season that spans only 2 months. So it's been impressive to see Dylan Donnelly as he's just improved more and more throughout the year.
So now it's the top of the 6th inning, and Terry, who do the Graders have coming up to the plate?
Top of the 6th inning and top of the lineup as Nick Risotto from Penn State. Risotto is a center fielder that's 1 for 2 today.
First one to him misses low for a ball. He's 1 for 2 on the game. Now the 1-0. This is low once again. 2-0 the count.
I think it can be emphasized enough. Risotto came into today's game batting .481.
Now the 1-0. That one's hit out towards center fielder Levi Gilchrist. He'll get under that one in time for out number 1.
So Risotto's now 1 for 3 in the game. So Donnelly's done a good job of putting down the Penn State Nittany line.
So now Zach D. Tomasis up to the plate for the Galion Graders. He comes to us from University of Akron. First one to him. Way up high for ball 1. Tomasis is ground out in both of his at-bats today. Now the 1-0. That one's hit out towards right field. We'll see if Christian Binger can get to that one. And he cannot. He dives and just can't come up with it. That one will drop in the warning track. and he'll round second and get to third in time for a triple.
The easy triple that time from DeTomasis. And this has been the most dangerous position the Scouts have been in all game.
Third base, number 16, JT Core.
JT Core will be coming up to the plate for the Graders with DeTomasis on third after the triple.
If only one out, you have to think. Of course, think about just trying to pop one up as far as you can back to try to sack fly in DeTomasis.
First one misses inside for a ball on the breaking pitch from Donley. Infield playing in to keep that run from scoring. Next one misses inside once again, 2-0 the count. JT Core struck out. I was back in the fourth inning. And the 2-0. Caught that one on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. Now 2-1. And that one will be lined into right field. That'll be a base hit. That'll score the first run of the game. And it'll be for the visiting Galion Graders.
So we talked about, Lance, who was going to break this long stalemate. And it's the Graders who put the first run on the board in the game. But you have to remember, they also put the first run on the game in the first game. And the Scouts were able to put 3 unanswered for the victory. But yet again, the navy blue and white pants are going to have to come from behind.
So Brady Bassalone up to the plate. Donley, but JT Core will be back in time over first after he reached courtesy of an RBI single.
And that's something we usually mention with Dylan, one of the best pickoff moves on the team, if not the best.
Next one misses away and in the dirt. Ball 1. Now the 1-0. That one's hit out towards center field and Levi Gilcrease. He'll get under that one in time for the second out. And Core was almost all the way 2 seconds. We'll have to run all the way back and won't even have a chance of tagging up.
At least I thought that Levi might throw to first just because he would feel offended that Core would walk all the way to second.
He
on
should
him
feel offended. It's not
because
respecting his arm.
You have to respect the arm. We've seen it multiple times this year where Gilcrease can throw it all the way from about mid-center field to the plate with not even a bounce.
Now Drake Cooper up to the plate. First one to him. And there for a called strike 1. Cooper comes to us from University of Toledo. Of course, as we mentioned, a rival of Terry and I up at BG. Conley. Core's back in plenty of time. Now the 0-1. Swung at that one, and he's on the move. He's going to be safe on that stolen base from JT Core.
I don't know if David Gahn just didn't know there was someone moving or that the shortstop, Jordan Schaefer, was just too slow on it, but that was a very delayed throw to the second base bag because it seemed like Gahn had the arm to put out Core in plenty of time.
So it's 0-2 to Krupar with 2 down here in the top of the 6th. The Graders on the board. That one grounded towards Kyle Carnahan at third. And he'll get that one over to Lincoln Reed in time for the out, but not before. The Graders put one on the board, take a 1-0 lead after the top of the 6th.
So Scouts will be having to come back here, but only have 4 innings to work with. Talking about a team that only has 1 hit in the contest, so they have to get something going. It's kind of similar to Grand Lake. Not exactly the same, but a game that they really struggled to get hits on the board after looking dominant in the first game of doubleheader. And it's 5 hits for the Graders, 1 hit for the Scouts. And, 4 hits for the Graders, 1 for the Scouts. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Graders.
Looks like it'll be Ben Hamilton, another Cardinal of Otterbein.
So So this will be the third pitcher we've seen today.
It's one of the greatest theologians in the world.
It's soothing to the soul.
Of course he is.
So another Cardinal.
New pitcher Ben Hamilton for the Galion Graders. Like we mentioned, this was from Otterbein. He's a junior, originally from Richwood, Ohio. He stands at 5'11", a buck 90.
Is that trailer yelling?
Hamilton on the year is 0-1 of 9 1/3 innings pitched and a .96 ERA. 5 strikeouts to 2 walks.
Dude, that's the best.
Batting for the Scouts, playing left field, number 34, Wyatt Hogan.
That's the best theology we've heard.
So now Wyatt Hogan will be up to the plate for your Xenia Scouts. And Terry, who's going to be coming up after Wyatt?
After Wyatt Hogan, we'll have Jordan Schaefer with his second at-bat as a Scout. We're back to the top of the lineup for the third time with Lee Solomon.
First pitch to Wyatt Hogan. In there for a strike, right down the pipe. Hogan will foul that one off, puts it to 0-2. So Hogan reached on a walk last time, was eventually stranded at second. And now the 0-2. Wasted one to the outside, 1-2 the count to Hogan. Now the 1-2. In the dirt once again, 2-2 the count to Wyatt Hogan. Last time Hogan got the start was in game 1 against the Joes. He went 0 for 4 with the walk. And the 2-2. Just got a piece of that one. We'll do it again at 2-2.
I don't know, I think George Schaefer thought Wyatt might have struck out there because he started walking towards the plate. I think Wyatt hold him back.
So Hogan up to the plate with a 2-2 count. And the 2-2 pitch. Way inside. Probably could have leaned into that one if he really wanted to. But he'll stay up there. 3-2 count.
Remember, Wyatt did walk back in the third inning.
And the 3-2. That one misses. Ball 4. Hogan will walk once again.
Playing shortstop, number 18, Jordan Schaefer.
So Ben Hamilton walks his first batter.
And there's going to be a pinch runner. We're going to see Miles Wright come into the game for Wyatt Hogan. The real question is, will Miles stay in and play left, or will they do some more maneuvering around in the outfield? I would think he just comes in to play left.
I'd agree. I think Binger's okay over there at right field. Of course, Levi is not moving, so I think Miles Wright is going to be safe and sound over there at left.
So Miles Wright comes in as a pinch runner for Wyatt Hogan after he draws another walk. Schaefer up to the plate. He'll lay down the bunt. He'll get it down, and they'll have to go and get Schaefer out at first. So a nice little sack bunt there from Jordan Schaefer. And it's nice to see someone bunt that's not Miles.
Yeah, nice. Great job by George Schaefer. First sack bunt chance of the year. Lays it down flawlessly to advance the runner. Did his job, and now with one out, there's a runner scoring position, and Miles Wright.
So it'll bring Lee Solomon up. He's 0 for 2 here in game 1 thus far, or game 2 thus far, but was 2 for 4 in game 1. First pitch to Lee Solomon. Miles is on the move, and he's going to be safe down there. Third, another steal. It was supposed to be by a bunch from Lee Solomon. Wasn't able to get it down. So another steal for Miles.
Even better for the Scouts. So now they don't have to sacrifice Lee Solomon. Is at third base.
Next one in there for a called strike. 0-2 the count to Lee Solomon. Two pitch. That one's lined over to Shiraka short. Miles Wright's going to come in to score in ball game.
So the Scouts playing a little bit of small ball. Wyatt Hogan walks, replaced by the speedier. Sacrifices second, steals third. And then the RBI put up for Lee Solomon. And the Scouts have tied it up.
Now Austin Orr coming up to the play with 2 down here. It's the bottom of the 6th. Tie ball game at 1 apiece. First one misses outside Austin Orr. He drew a walk in his first at-bat and struck out back in the 4th. 1-0. That one's grounded up the middle. It'll be picked up by Chirac barehanded. And he just got Austin Orr out at first on another very close play.
Schrock is unbelievable right there. To barehand that one on the fall, throw it in complete stride on a full sprint to get an Austin Orr, who's a very fast player. And that's just an unbelievable play from the shortstop, who has made plays again and again and again in both games today. Kevin Schrock has just been nonstop.
It's been a very good defensive shortstop, if nothing else. Hasn't done the bad. He struck out looking, but does have a chance to hit here. It's the top of the 7th, like I mentioned. Game is tied at 1 apiece. The Graders got one in the 6th, and the Scouts came right back and got one. And that's something that Coach Cates preaches, that when you're the home team and the team in front of you gets a run, you got to go back and at least get one yourselves.
You're right, and it ends the momentum. And you can feel it here, Lance, that the Scouts have really regained this one. And now it's only a still tie ball game. There's work to be done, but they're right back in it.
And Miles is in right, and they're going to move Christian over to left.
Also, they will make a rotation of Christian Binger in left field, Miles right in right field. Yes, Miles has been much more acclimated to that position recently.
Going up for the Graders, playing first base.
So now, Terry, it's the top of the 7th. Who's coming up for the Galion Graders?
Come up here on the top of the 7th is Dylan Donnelly's about to have a 7th inning of pitching. It'll be Dylan Slack, the first baseman, Aaron Caputo, the second baseman, and Mark Walton, catcher.
First one is popped high up in the air. It'll just get out of the infield. And Miles Wright will come in and grab that one for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Miles Wright comes in the game, puts it away. Dylan Donnelly still looks very in control out there.
Donnelly looking in complete control thus far for the Scouts. They show bunt, but that one's way out of the zone for a ball.
We did see Caputo speed earlier. He stole a base before he came around and tried to score before he's thrown out the plate by Christian Binger.
0-1 misses. 1-1 the count. And the 1-1. That one's skied out towards right. We'll see if Miles can get to that one. And he can for the second out. 2 balls hit to Miles Wright and 2 outs.
And the sun has come out here. Bad enough the sunglasses in because that would have been a hard one to put away. And that's going to be a new obstacle the Scouts and the Graders are going to have to deal with.
Mark Walton now up to the plate. It's 0 for 1. First one in there for a called strike 1. And something we've mentioned with Dylan Donnelly is he seems to get stronger as the games go on.
Absolutely, and he really has ever since giving up that run.
The 0-1. Catches that one for an 0-2. And the 0-2. That one's in the dirt. It'll get away from Gaunt, but nobody on base. One to the counter. Mark Walton, he's the catcher from Otterbein, one of the few Cardinals on this team. 1-2. This is low and away. Evens it up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. One's grounded towards Kyle Carnahan at third. We'll get that one over to Lincoln Reed in time for the out. So 1, 2, 3. Go. You're the Galion Graders. Almost said your Galion Graders. They're not your Galion Graders.
They're their Galion Graders. As
Exactly.
we're about to have the 7th inning stretch here at Grady's Field. It's going to be the 2nd inning of action for Ben Hamilton.
So now we get set for the bottom of the 7th after that top half. No runs added on by the Graders. Still a 1-1 ball game between them and the Scouts. I'm Lance Morris, of course, alongside Terry Lash as we bring you every single contest for the Xenia Scouts here on our Google YouTube page. We do our best to bring you the live play-by-play of the said Xenia Scouts.
And we have some updates around the Great Lakes League in the top of the 2nd. The Grand Lake Mariners up on Lorain County Ironmen 4-1. Try and get the sweep over the Ironmen in that doubleheader today at the Pipe Yard. Down or up in Flat Right, Michigan. The Lake Erie Monarchs are up 2-0 on the Lima Locos. That game in the bottom of the 3rd. One of the only game that's being played today that's not a doubleheader. And then the Hamilton Joes up 3-0 on the Southern Ohio Copperheads in the bottom 5th of that one. One that I expect will probably only be going 7 innings since the first one went 9. We're not exactly sure, but we'll keep you updated on those scores throughout this contest.
Ben Hamilton out there for another inning of work for the Graders. Came in last inning. And he didn't do a bad job, just allowed a couple guys to get on, and the Scouts were able to put the run across.
Right, it was just good small ball, and I have to imagine Coach Cates is thinking the same thing here to take the lead.
So Christian Binger up to the plate for your Scouts. He started the game in right field, has since moved over to left field. First one to him. Way inside. He avoids getting hit by that one. And Terry, who's going to be coming up after Christian Binger?
After Christian Binger will be David Gaunt and Kyle Carnahan, the Washburn duo.
Next one will miss just inside. 2-0 the count to Christian Binger.
Wrong button.
Next one misses inside again. 3-0 to Christian Binger.
Christian trying to draw his first walk of the day. Back in game number 1, he went 0 for 4, 0 for 2 so far today.
3-0 misses outside, and Christian Binger will get another walk. I've never seen that before. That'll be his 15th of the year.
The catcher, number 17.
Team leading in that now leads all other players by 5 runs. And David Gaunt has a runner on, so perfect position for the team's leader in RBIs.
So David Gaunt up to the plate. He's grounded out to third, not once but twice today. First one to him. Binger's on the move. He'll take that one and actually hit him. So surprisingly, a Washburn Ichabod hit. That wasn't Kyle Carnahan.
Right, it's David Gaunt that got pumped on that one. So with no outs, Scouts have runners on first and second. And this is the first time in the day the Scouts have put 2 runners on at the same time.
They're going to go to the bullpen in relief of Ben Hamilton.
Hamilton does not last very long. He pitched 1 inning. And it's now going to be replaced, and we're going to see who is replacing him.
Looks like a lefty.
It will be a lefty.
Jeff. I guess.
We did see Will Orr, who was a lefty earlier in this game. No one on their team page is actually listed as a lefty besides Orr. I'm trying to see who's numbered. That'd be Cody Brown.
Cody Brown.
Bowling Green State University Falcon is listed as a righty,
So they messed up.
but he's a lefty.
We can tell you, he's a lefty.
Yep.
We watched him pitch a couple times.
Now Cody Brown, a reliever at BGSU, coming into the game for the Graders after Ben Hamilton only goes 1 inning. Gives up
2 walks.
2 walks. After he started fine in the 6th, gave up 1 walk in that inning. Did give up an RBI for the team's lone earned run of the game. Within a walk and a hit by a pitch to David Gaunt to start off.
I know. I pulled a song.
So Cody Brown, he, like we said, comes to us from Bowling Green State University.
I got another good one too.
He, of course, came from Perrysburg, Ohio, just about 15, 20 minutes or so from BG, not too far. Went to Perrysburg High School, a very good baseball school. They produced a lot of baseball players. They seem to usually produce pitchers, so there you go.
And that's why we see him today. And here comes Kyle Carnahan, who's 1 for 2 today.
First pitch to Carnahan will show bunt,
Good Kyle. Good.
but it'll be a ball. So we showed bunt, but it misses the strike zone, so it's a ball. Second time we've seen that today.
Yep.
So David Gaunt over on first, Christian Binger over on second. Now the 1-0. Show pulls it back.
If I was
2-0 the count.
pro team, I would
I said earlier after they took Muse after 3 that they go by pitcher by committee, but I didn't think it'd be this much as we're on the 7th still, and this is number 4.
I need a couple billion to get
A 1-1 contest.
2-0. Shows the bunt. We'll have to go over to first. So sack bunt works to perfection. Gets Binger over to third and gets Gaunt over to second.
Great job by Kyle Carnahan in back-to-back innings. We've seen sacrifice bunts laid down by the Scouts, both to perfection. So now 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th with 3-time Scout Lincoln Reed at the plate. Switch hitter betting righty against the lefty.
So Lincoln up to the plate. Runners on second and third for the Scouts. 1-1 ball game. First one to Lincoln is hit out towards right field. That'll get down for a base hit. That'll score a run, and that'll be it. They're going to hold Gaunt over at third. Makes it a 2-1 ball game in favor of your Scouts.
The RBI single for Lincoln Reed gives the Scouts the lead. And it was a first pitch swing. We see that a lot for Lincoln. He sees something he likes. He's going to take a hack at it. He does a great job that time going oppo. This time batting from the right side. He's our switch hitter. Sometimes he bats lefty. Sometimes he bats righty. Depends on the hand of the pitcher. Now runners on the corners. After a great piece of hitting by Lincoln Reed, gets the Scouts the lead.
So now Levi Gilcrease up to the plate for the Scouts with the runners on the corners.
He came in for the first one.
First one to him is skied out towards center field. Mariota will get under that one for the out. That will bring home David Gaunt. So sacrifice fly from Levi Gilcrease makes it a 3-1 ball game.
So small ball yet again. A walk, a hit by a pitch, a sac bunt, RBI single from Lincoln Reed, and then another sacrifice, this one of the fly ball variety. And this time it scores David Gaunt.
So it brings Miles right up to the plate. He's hitting in the 8th spot. That's, of course, because he came in for Wyatt Hogan as a pinch runner. Usually he's manning down that number 9 spot in the batting order.
Yes.
First one to him. He'll show bunt, pulls it back. It'll be a ball. They do know there's 2 outs, right? Like literally, they didn't know there's 2 outs.
They know there's 2 outs. Why it's
So,
still bunting away?
so why have Miles bunt?
Because I think you can get on.
Well, let's see. Want to know the count? He's swinging away that time. It goes out of play, or actually just barely stays in play. Hit off of the fence, out in foul territory.
You have seen Miles lay down a bunt single this year. He has the speed for it. Something you like to make fun of him for a lot, but he does have the potential to do so. And he thought he can catch the corners off guard.
The 1-1. Inside pitch. Misses for a ball. 2-1 the count to Miles. And it's just usually we see Miles in a sacrifice bunt role, so unless he really thinks he can bunt for a hit, it's rare to see Scouts bunt with 2 outs. There at first after the RBI single. The 2-1. And that one's lined right into left field for a base hit from Miles. And he finally gets a hit when I'm doing play-by-play. It's nice to see Miles get a hit.
Hashtag let Miles hit. And Miles right.
I'll have to tell him that after the game that perhaps the curse is broken. Maybe not for long. Nonetheless, we'll see. Now Jordan Schaefer comes up to the plate. This will be his 3rd at-bat with the Scouts. Runners on 1st and 2nd, 2 down. First one to him in there for a called strike number 1. Scouts on top 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. They've put 2 on the board in this half of the inning. The 0-1. That one's grounded over to Caputo at 2nd. And he'll get that one over to Slock in time for out number 3, but not before your Xenia Scouts add 2 to their total. Take a 3-1 lead over the Galion Graders.
So same score that was after 7 in game number 1 is the score we have here in game number 2, 3-1 as we go to the 8th inning. As the first game of the doubleheader only went 7 before the Scouts were victorious. And look who's coming back to the Mountainlands, Dylan Donnelly, for his 8th inning of action. We do have some activity in the pen.
So we shall see how long the leash is for Dylan Donnelly. He's had quite an impressive outing. He gave up just the 1 run, 4 hits in 7 total innings thus far. So we'll see how Dylan Donnelly does in this inning of work. Again, Scouts on top 3-1. We're about to start the top of the 8th inning. And Terry Hoodoo, the Galion Graders, have coming up to the plate.
We have the 9-1-2 hitters for the Galion Graders. And Kevin Schrock, who's 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking last time. They're back to the top of the lineup for the 4th time. Nick Risotto, he is 1 for 3. And then Zach DeTomasis, and he is 1 for 3 as well. He had that RBI triple last time.
Kevin Schrock coming up to the plate. He's been a great defensive shortstop, as we've mentioned many times.
But does struggle at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Came in the game batting .207.
First one that misses outside for a ball.
And Schrock also went 0 for 3 in game number 1 as well.
No,
1-0 misses low.
Yeah.
It's 2-0 the count to Schrock.
That's what we're going at. That's a remake to how great they are.
And the 2-0. Misses that one up high just by a tad. 3-0 the count to Schrock.
This is not a batter you want to walk. Because this guy's been a routine out for you. Let him put it in place. See what your defense can do with it.
And the 3-0. And there for a called strike 1. Puts the count at 3-1.
I'm going to try to see he's warming up in the pen for the Scouts. A couple of players.
Next one in there for a called strike 2. I think it's Joey Levitt out there warming up, but I can't tell.
Yep, Joey Levitt definitely out there for the Scouts.
And the 3-1. And that one will just miss for ball 4. That'll be another walk from Dylan Donnelly. That'll be his 3rd of the game and his 1st since the 4th inning.
That's an inauspicious start. Start this 8th here, walking the last batter of the lineup, and now you have to face a hard-hitting Risotto.
Now Risotto up to the plate. He shows bunt, pulls it back. It's in there for a strike anyway.
And Nick has struggled in this one, only 1 for 3. Came in this game batting .481.
Yeah, only 1 for 3. The 0-1. Pitch out there. They're going to check on him at first. Nice throw there from David Gahn. Not the greatest throws. Lincoln still had to make sure he stayed in front of it, but way to keep him honest at first.
Yeah, good decision. Veteran play by David Gaunt. Now, definitely Schrock's going to be thinking about it when he takes his lead.
The 1-1. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Schrock has not attempted to steal this year, so I think it's a whole lot of bluffing over there at first base.
The 1-2 is fouled out of play over our heads. We'll do it once again at 1-2. And the 1-2.
Yes.
Just a tad outside, evens it up at 2 apiece.
I think everyone at Grady's Field was looking at the umpires. He had another delay call saying, what is it going to be? Because it was right there on the corner.
2-2. Okay, so that one's fouled off. We'll try again at 2-2.
So a good bat for Risotto here. He's really working Dylan Donnelly. He's 1 out away from going the furthest he's gone all season long would be a 7 1/3.
And then 2-2. Could take a chance if he has the speed to be safe at second either way.
You know, Donnelly knows as well as he almost got him on that pickoff.
And 3-2, he'll stay put, and that one's down the line. And that's looks like it's out of here, but foul. So luckily on that one, just a bit early on that one.
And that was a tight moment because you thought the game was tied up because that one was out of here.
Still a full count, 3-2. And the pitch. Just fouled that one off and still battling his Risotto.
He does have the power to go long. We saw it right there.
And 3-2. And he'll walk him. Second walk in a row. He'll do exactly what he did in the 4th inning and walk 2 in a row.
That's 4 on the day. And now 13 on the year for Donnelly. And Scouts trying to hold on to this 2-run lead. And they have a meeting at the mound right now between Gaunt, Cates, and Donnelly. See Levitt still warming up out there.
He's going to him.
And yep, that's going to be it for Dylan Donnelly. So they put Donnelly back in for the 8th, but struggled. Walked his first 2 batters. So Joey Levitt is going to be put on with 2 on. And if either of those runs score, they're going to be accredited to Dylan Donnelly. But Donnelly goes 7 innings strong. Gives up 4 hits and 1 earned run. Had 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. So an unbelievable day for Dylan Donnelly. We'll get the victory if the Scouts can close this one out.
So Donnelly walks Schrock and Risotto to start off this top of the 8th. Scouts are on top 3-1 after they put 2 on the board in the 7th. So we'll see what we can get from Joey Levitt. And Terry, you've got everything right in front of you. How did Joey do in his last outing?
Joey in his last outing, which was against the Hamilton Joes in that 6-7 heartbreaker. That resulted in a 3-run shot off of Joe Chasen for the go-ahead home run. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, had 1 walk, and a strikeout. No run, so very well in that outing. On the year, he has a 2.07 ERA, 1-0 record. He's had a 17 1/3 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts to 6 walks, so a 2-to-1 ratio there. And it's been one of the most consistent relievers for the Xenia Scouts this whole year. that loss to the Joes was the first contest that Levitt pitched in that didn't result in a victory. Was victorious in all 6 appearances before that.
So Levitt throwing his last couple warm-up pitches. They'll have a couple guys on, courtesy of the walks from Dylan Donnelly, and it'll be Zach DeTomasis coming up to the plate. And not the guy you want coming up to the plate with a couple guys on, as he hit a big triple in his last time up back in the 6th.
He did. He came into the game only batting 188, but we did see his hitting ability with that huge triple back in the 6th.
So Tomas is up to the plate with runners on first and second for the Galion Graders. Joey Levitt into pitch. First one shown, bunt. Pulls it back for ball 1. Like I mentioned, Tomas has had the triple his last time up, grounded out a couple times before that. And the 1-0, another bunt shown, and he'll get that one down. And Lincoln Reed will have to feel that over to Lee Solomon. Great cover over there at first to get the out, but that does advance the runners to second and third with just 1 down.
So a nice sack bunt. And what a scoop by Lee Solomon. And I'll put both runners in scoring position with only 1 out here. Scouts again in some danger with JT Core coming to the plate. And he singled last time, the only run of the game for the Graders.
So we'll have runners at second and third with 1 down. Top of the 8th. First one is in there for a called strike 1 to JT Core, the third baseman from North Dakota State University. Don't want to confuse the Dakotas.
And he's a Bison.
Now the 0-1. That one's grounded over to Schaefer over at short. Still getting used to saying that name as he throws that one over to first for the out, but that does plate home a run.
It does, and that run will be accounted to Dylan Donnelly. So his second earned run of the game. JT Core makes this a 1-run ball game. It's right now over for the Scouts as still another runner at third and Nick Risotto.
Grady Basilone up to the plate for the Galion Graders. First one to him just misses inside for a ball. So again, a runner over at third. Scouts still have the 1-run lead. And Gaunt will fake him back over to third. He was getting ready to launch and throw, and he wisely got back to third in time.
Kyle Carnahan wasn't even close to the base. That's just David Gaunt having a little bit of fun out there, making sure hey, you stay over there at third. And he did a nice fake. Deserves an Oscar.
And a 2-0. And there for a called strike 1, 2-1 the count. Still some action out in the Scouts bullpen. Looks like Joe Chasen up there warming up as he usually comes in after Joey Levitt. The 2-1. That one's fouled out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brody Basilone.
We always see Joey to Joe, and Joe Chasen has been the closer this year for the Scouts. And I imagine if they get out of here in the 8th, he'll be coming in the 9th, trying to do just that.
And the 2-2. That one's skied up. That looks like it'll get out of play, and it will.
You see Basilone over there at third base trying to draw a balk out of Joey Levitt with that hard stomp, getting his attention, trying to stop his pitching motion.
Basilone's at the plate, Terry.
Excuse me, over there from Risotto.
That's okay. The 2-2. That's grounded towards Carnahan at third. He'll get that one over to Lincoln Reed in time for the out, but the Graders do plate 1 and narrow down the lead. They trail a score of 3-2 to your Xenia Scouts.
So the Graders are down to their last 3 outs of the contest. It'll most likely be Joe Chasen trying to close out. He blew the save last time against the Hamilton Joes. We'll see what he does tonight against the Graders, but it'd be ideal if the Scouts could give him a couple of extra insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, so it gives Joe a little bit of wiggle room to work with.
So final line now for Dylan Donnelly. Went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs. One of them came off after he was done pitching, Kevin Chirac, and gave up 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. So a very good day from Dylan Donnelly.
Yeah, it was. I think it's safe to say his best day of the year. And
He might say bowling was more fun.
yeah, I guess he did pretty well bowling as well, but best day on the mound of
There
the
you go.
year. Not in
Got to
the
be clear for the
lanes.
fans at home.
Batting for the Scouts.
Scouts are having fun even when we're not on the ball field.
Very true.
You're distracting me.
So now, Terry, we're set for the bottom of the 8th. Scouts on top 3-2. And who's coming up for the Scouts?
Come on for the Scouts to start off at the top of the lineup with Lee Solomon.
Someone will put down a bunt, but it'll be popped up over to Slock for the first out of the inning.
So Solomon goes 0 for 4 with an RBI here in the second game with that bunt fly to first. That's going to bring Austin Orr. He's 0 for 2 today, ground out to short last time. Christian Binger on deck.
First pitch to Orr. This is outside for a ball.
Walked earlier in this contest for the 10th time this season.
Now the 1-0. One misses low, ball 2 to Austin Orr. He walked way back in the first inning, was caught stealing. And he struck out looking in the 4th and grounded out in the 6th. 2-0. Misses low once again, 3-0 to Austin Orr.
Lefty on this team, Austin Orr.
And the 3-0. And that one misses. Another walk for Austin Orr. That'll be his 11th on the season in a limited number of at-bats.
Yeah, and that passes Levi Gilcrease for second most on the team.
So Austin Orr always making the most of his at-bats. And while he's dealing with the shoulder injury, he basically comes in to DH whenever Gaunt is behind the plate, because whenever Gaunt's not behind the plate, he's usually in that DH role. So I'll check on Austin Orr over at first. Christian Binger is up in that left-handed batter's box. Binger walked his last time up to extend his walk total to 15. They check on Orr once again. Binger flew out in the first inning and grounded out in the 4th inning. They're going to check on Orr for the 3rd straight time. He's still back in there safely.
Being very safe over there is Cody Brown.
First pitch to Binger. Misses low and inside for a ball. With a nice lead over at first. Now the 1-0. This is outside to Binger once again. 2-0 the count. That's 6 straight balls.
Again, credit to Christian Binger because he saw so many pickoff attempts. You wonder if he's getting antsy at the plate. Want to be swinging when he finally sees a pitch because he never knows if he's going to see one again. But nope, not Christian Binger. He's gonna
wait.
He's gonna wait for his right pitch.
Yeah. Austin Orr still over there first after drawing the walk. And the 2-0 to Bing. And therefore called strike 1, 2-1 the count. Now the 2-1. Just catches the outside. 2-2 the count.
Second time Christian Binger's been in a 2-2 back in the 4th. He grounded out to first. He dove head first to try to get on that time, but was unable to get on.
They're going to check on Austin Orr once again. He's back in there safely.
I'm so worried about Austin because back all the way in the bottom of the first inning, he tried to steal and was caught stealing. So that's why they're knowing Austin is willing to make the move over there.
2-2 misses up and away. Makes it a 3-2 count. You never know that he works the count. Christian does that just about every time. Now 3-2. Misses up high, and he'll walk Christian Binger. I'm so surprised. That'll be his 16th walk on the year.
The second straight walk for Cody Brown. Who's showing a little bit of dents in the armor out there. So he came in so solidly. And now he's giving up a couple of walks, and the Scouts are in a position to do some damage and try to extend this one-run lead with David Gaunt, the team's best hitter, at the plate. He was hit by a pitch last time and grounded out to third his first two at-bats, so he's 0 for 2.
So they're, after the meeting, they're going to stick with Cody Brown, as it doesn't look like there's anyone warming up in the Grader bullpen. We'll see if that changes anytime soon. That does bring David Gaunt up to play with 2 guys on.
And Lance and I always talk about Christian Binger playing better when he calls games than I do. Christian Binger 0 for 4 when I called it. Today he's 0 for 2, but has gone twice with walks, so the streak continues.
Has scored a run, of course, as well.
So Christian Binger, much better with Lance than myself, for those keeping track at home.
First pitch today, fouled off the top of the press box and all the metal that hangs above us. So Austin Orr over on second, Christian Binger over on first. Definitely some speed on the base paths. And they'll look everyone back as Brown will step off. Now the 0-1. And that one's lined out towards left field. And kiss that one goodbye. A 3-run jack from David Gaunt, his 5th on the year.
David Gaunt hasn't hit a home run in a long time. No longer after he sent that one over the left field fence lanes. I thought I might have hit the Athletes in Action sign out there for a second. That one just blew this game wide open.
Playing third base.
6-2, the Scouts now on top after the 3-run bomb from Gaunt. He's aptly named in my phone as David Hits Bombs Gaunt.
And that would be because he
hits bombs.
You're absolutely right, Lance.
Now Kyle Carnahan up to the plate. And that one hit him. I'm so surprised at that one, too.
You should just laugh at this point. How does one player get hit so much? That one looks like it might have got him on the wrist.
8th time this year. 2nd time between both of the games today. Carnahan will walk over to first. Brings Lincoln Reed up to the plate. Lincoln grounded into 4-6-3 double play in his first at-bat. And then he pops that one up. We'll see if that one stays in play. And that one will be caught by Slock in foul territory for the 2nd out of the inning.
And now Joe Chaser will not be on for a save opportunity as the Scouts are up by 4 because of the 3-run jack by David Gaunt. As Lance mentioned, that was his 5th on the season. That's going to be good for tie for 2nd best in the league.
And you can see in the webcam, but players in front of you are from the Dominican Republic, so the Dominican Republic team now back on U.S. soil.
And it's great to have the Dominican Republic team back. We were able to spend some time with them before they left, only a few days, back about 3 weeks ago. God bless that they were able to come back safe and sound. Can't wait to hear about their journey.
And therefore, strike 1-1 now the count to Levi Gilcrease. Carnahan over at first after being hit by a pitch. 1-1 to Levi is in the dirt. 2-1 the count. Now the 2-1. One's low and in the dirt, and Carnahan's going to be on the move, and he'll be in there in plenty of time.
Are they going to because he was on the move.
I think that one was just a pass ball.
Here's a pass ball. Okay. Pass ball. And now Kyle Carnahan. Position.
Carnahan advances the second. 3-1 the count to Gilcrease. On just catches the corner. Levi was about ready to flip his bat back to the dugout.
Yeah, that one looked like it might have been high and away, but the U.S. got to do it again at 3-2.
And they will rule that they call it a steal for Kyle Carnahan. And the 3-2. And that one will go out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2. It's 3-2. Counts Levi Gilcrease, Kyle Carnahan over at second. Scouts on top 6-2 after the 3-run home run from David Gaunt. And 3-2. That one's lined out towards right field. That one will be caught by Krupar to end the inning, but not before. The Xenia Scouts put a big 3-spot on the board off of the bat of David Gaunt for his 5th home run of the year, and that'll now put him in the lead for RBIs as well, right, Terry?
It should put him in the lead because coming into today, Brett Murray had 22. The Locos in action today against Grand Lake Mariners, but the last time we saw an update from that game, it was 3-0 Mariners.
And Joey Levitt's going to be back out there on the mound.
Now it's 3-2 Locos in the game, so maybe Murray has part in those 3 runs. So we're not sure if David Gaunt now leads the league in RBIs, but we'd really like to think so. So we're just going to assume that David Gaunt is leading in RBIs. Also, Cole Nito for the Lorain County Ironman had 20 coming into today. Might have been responsible for one of those 7 runs that the Ironman put across in the first game, or 2 that's come across in game 2. But again, we're going to assume that David Gaunt is in the lead, because why not?
He does have RBIs between both games, had 3 off of that 1 home run, of course, so you can do the simple math. I know you've been working on your math skills.
I've been trying my hardest.
So now as we get set to start the top of the 9th, Joey Levitt still on the hill, and Terry, who's going to be coming up for the Graders?
Coming up for the Graders here in their last chance in the top of the 9th is Jake Krupar, the right fielder.
First one to miss, it actually catches the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, that one looked a little outside. Yeah, that one.
The 0-1. Misses that one low, evens it up at 1-1.
Good movement on that pitch from Joey. Trying to go 2 innings strong.
Now the 1-1. That one's lined out towards Levi Gilcrease. Hardly had to move to put that one away for the first out of the inning.
And most likely listening at home will be John Levitt, father of Joey Levitt, who Lance and I got to talk to in depth up at Lorain County when they took on the Northern Ohio Baseball Club. Great guy who listens to the Scouts. Lance, pleasure to sit down. Minnesota Twins.
This one was barely tipped away by Dylan Slock.
John, a former AA player himself, went to Italy, Germany, and Sweden back in 1981. So
1 misses, evens it up at 1-1.
that was a great experience for himself. So hello out there to John if you're listening at home.
And 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count to Dylan Slock.
I know about you, Lance, but that's been one of my favorite parts of the summer, just hearing the words from feeling like the Gaunts and the Carnahans and the Wrights and the Levitts out there. It means a lot to us. That you get
1-2 is grounded towards Kyle Carnahan at third, and it just goes foul.
that one missed by a rabbit who not have been fouled by very much.
We should start keeping track of all the different hairs that we reference.
We're getting up
There's
there.
been a few.
There's been a rabbit hair is kind of redundant because the rabbit is a hair.
Bing, bing, there you go. The 1-2. That one's skied up. That one will get out of play. Try again at 1-2.
11, 2 outs away from another scout. The win will go to Dylan Donnelly after he pitched 7 innings strong. He gave the Scouts a 3-1 lead before he left.
1-2. That one is grounded towards Carnahan at third. He'll get that one over in time for out of the inning.
Neither of these two teams with an error in game number 2 with the Graders down to the last out.
Now Aaron Caputo up to the plate. Comes this from first pitch to him. Catches the outside corner for strike one.
Of Ohio Wesleyan, one of the better team names in the Ohio area. In my personal opinion, of course.
0-1. That's grounded towards Lee Solomon over at second. And that'll do it. Your Scouts come out on top by a score of 6-2 over the Galion Graders.
And it was a great job by the Scouts. They were in a little bit of danger as they got back to 3-2 before a 3-run shot by David Gaunt, who will be our player of the game today. Again, I believe that's the 5th time?
Yep.
5th time Gaunt's been player of the game. And as it got closer, he put it away with that 3-run jack, his 5th of the season for his 24th RBI. You also got to talk about Dylan Donnelly, who had his best performance on the mound.
If Gaunt didn't hit the bomb, it'd be Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan Donnelly,
sure.
We have to give him a lot of props. 7 innings pitched, only gave up 2 earned runs, gave up 4 hits, had 4 walks and 3 strikeouts, but they tried to put him out there for the 8th inning, did walk the first 2 batters before he was replaced by Joey Levitt. Joey Levitt didn't give up a hit in this game. He gave up a run that was not earned to him, but he was just fabulous and sat down 6 batters. And Dylan Donnelly, a great day on the mound. He's going to get the victory, his first of the year. He's going to now move to 1-1 on the season. Scouts on the year move to 14-6, and Lance, we're halfway home.
We're halfway home. Still can't believe it.
It is very hard to believe because it seems like just yesterday we started out here against the Grand Lake Mariners. Excuse me, against the Grand Lake Mariners, against the Lake Erie Monarchs.
They got Lake in their name.
They got Lake in their name somewhere, and it's like Dylan Donnelly being congratulated by his teammates down there. And I think they might be bringing up Dylan.
I think they're giving us Dylan. I mean, we'll take both of them.
Yeah, well, either or is plain deserving of player
We'll
of the
say
game.
co-player of the game. How about that?
I'm fine with either. We have not interviewed Dylan this year, so really exciting. So Dylan Donnelly will be here shortly. Take over for me. Again, Donnelly went 7 innings strong and 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 hits, and had 2 earned runs, only 1 run given up while he was on the mound. And he really put the Scouts in a position to win as they were up 3-1 and got back to 3-2 before in the bottom of the 8th with Joe Chasen warming up in the pen, ready for the close. It was David Gaunt who hit that 3-run jack.
So Terry takes the headset off as we unlock our press box that's locked for whatever reason today. And we got Dylan Donnelly coming on the headset. I know you're excited. Let me hand the camera over to Terry. As you now get a nice view of our ceiling. All right, gonna move around a little bit. Right now, I'm sitting here with Dylan Donnelly, and Dylan, it's good to talk to you after a nice win. You had some rough outings, but today you were feeling it. So, just how do you feel physically, and then how did it feel to pitch today?
Physically, I felt a lot better than I thought I would. I've been having some issues with my back and my hip, and coming into the game, I thought they would affect me a lot more. Our training staff is wonderful. They took really good care of me and got me prepared for the game. And so, about in the 6th or 7th inning, coach came down to me and said, "How do you feel?" And so I feel like I'm in the 2nd inning. My body felt great, and so that definitely helped me go a little bit longer than what I'm used to.
And so we've noticed, at least the last couple games when you started, you seem to get stronger as the game goes on. Has that been something that has always been a thing or just recently?
I think that some of the things Coach Cates has taught us has helped me get stronger as the game goes on. A lot of it is mental. So I really just try to push through. And at the beginning of the games, I don't try to wear myself out. That's how I was this previous season in college. I was a closer, and so I came in and I threw as hard as I could almost every pitch. He was only threw for a couple innings, and so taking the first couple innings, not throwing as hard, and more focusing on hitting my spots and locating my pitches definitely helps me go longer in games and 5, 6, and get into the 7, hopefully 8 and 9 next time.
And so your stat line for today: 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. One of them came in after you came out, 4 walks, and then 3 strikeouts. So were you starting to just lose it near the end? Did your arm start to hurt a little bit, or what happened out there?
That's the thing. My arm felt fine. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it tonight and try to figure out what was wrong with me, because I felt like I could have gone another 5 innings. I was feeling good. I understand why Coach came and took me out. I just walked 2 guys. We were only up by 2, and so that was the right call by him, taking me out. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And this doesn't involve you, but David hit a bomb.
Oh, my gosh. And he was due. He hadn't hit a bomb in a while, and so it was great to see him. And, Dave and I have been gotten really close over the past month, and, he's my catcher, and, we have that close bond. And so seeing him, finally hit a home run after not hitting one for a while was special to me.
Dylan, you had a great game today. 7 innings pitched, got your first win of the year. Dylan, great game. Thanks for coming up to talk to me.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Now we get Terry Lash back in the headset. Try to finagle our camera a little bit. So Terry, the Scouts get a 6-2 win today, and really we talked about how I said the bats need to stay hot coming into the game. They really didn't stay that hot, but the pitching gave us the cushion we needed.
It did. Dylan Dowling gave us everything. He only given up 1 run through those first 7 innings, and then the other one came after that Joey Levitt was on the mound for, but it was earned to Dylan. But it was just a fantastic pitching performance. We thought it was been close. Scouts only had 1 hit for the majority of the game. Their bats just weren't working. We saw Zach Wiley in a funny moment earlier that they threw all the bats on the ground, and he told them all to wake up. He literally yelled at the bats in foul territory to tell them to get going, and finally it did in the 8th. And it was started off, of course, we're going to talk about the bomb by David Gahn, but the clutch play at the plate from Christian Binger and Austin Orr to be patient, because that was a key, because I put him on for David Gahn. It could have been a solo shot from David Gahn regardless, but if those 2 players don't get on, it's not the same cushion, and Joe Chase is probably still going in the game, and it changes everything. So you have those 2 patient batters with eagle eyes to get on the plate, and that sets up a 3-run bomb instead of just a solo shot for David.
And we're talking about Austin Orr and Christian Binger, who lead the team in walks, even though Austin has had much less at-bats than anybody. So that tells you just how patient he is when he's coming up to the plate.
You're right. We have a lot of patient hitters, too. Austin Orr definitely at the top of the list. I remember talking to Coach Cates, and Austin really gets the most out of his at-bats, and we saw that today. I think we're finally starting to see him get extended playing time. We'll probably see him more in the DH role. Maybe especially with Jordan Schaefer just coming into the fold will be more substitutions. I still kind of dread the day we're going to see Kyle Carnahan taking off third base, because he's had just such a Lou Gehrig type run over there. But it's going to happen eventually, and it's just fun to see how Coach Cates can move these guys around and then still go on the field and perform. We saw Lee Solomon move to second, and he did a great job at second base. So it's been really exciting. We're halfway through the season, Lance. And
crazy to think we're already halfway
14-6 record, one of the best starts in team history. They just have a lot going. They have a lot of talent, but more importantly, they have a lot of heart and character. I think that shines through in some of these victories.
And we also have a lot of fun, like we mentioned, whether we're on the field, whether we're at the bowling alley, anything we do as a team, it's always a fun time no matter what we're doing.
It's a band of brothers that have really come together through Christ, and it's just really, I think it's made us better men, and I think that shows out there on the diamond for a lot of these players, because they're playing seemingly out of their minds compared to their college seasons, and they've just been hot and have come together as a team. They're playing teams out there with tons of D1 talent with not as much here, and there seems to be wiping the floor with them. So We'll see how long this hot streak keeps going, but the second straight doubleheader that the Scouts have swept. First one against the Northern Ohio Baseball Club, now today against the Graders, and we'll see what goes on from here.
So with that, the Scouts win both games today. They win game 2 by a score of 6-2, and we will have 2 straight road games. We will go on the road to Hamilton to take on the Joes on Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll have a scheduled off day tomorrow, but we will be on the road at Hamilton with all of your coverage right here on our Google YouTube Hangout. We'll talk to you Tuesday. Thank you, and God bless.